Alright, welcome to my day 87 progression guide. So for today, we did not get a level increase. So it looks like, yes, we are only getting one every 8 days, unless they decide to change it again, who knows. So starting out, you want to go to your artificial island, then you want to go back to build, and then you want to hit claim, because remember, you can only hold these resources for 24 hours. On top of that, I want to give you a reminder to go ahead and get your enemies. I recommend that you try to do it today, because we already know Sunday's Procrastinator Day, which also brings us to the exchange store. Don't forget to get your weekly items, monthly items you can wait, but then you want to do your Mia's Kitchen, and you want to knock out your 4 bounties for the week, and I'm going to go with the Sparrow. Then we have Vitality, starting with joint operations. So for today, we got access to Bracer's Chest, a Huma, and a Samir Matrix, so this one's actually a pretty good dungeon, but I'm going to say it again, I think tomorrow we're going to get that level increase, so I don't recommend doing this. With us getting that level increase tomorrow, we should be getting access to Sadness Valley, so if you have a Fire or a Frost team, this is the main thing you're going to be wanting to run, also possibly using your Vitality solutions to try to get that really good set of gear. Of course, for Sunday, we have the end game, so my Volt and Physical users, that's what you're looking for. That brings us to Interstellar Exploration, and again, you want to check Aspera, and you also want to check Vera, and you want to see if you have any level 3 Stargates. But how you can tell is if this weapon battery category has a number 3. If so, it's going to be a level 3 Stargate, but if it has a 2, it's going to be a level 2 Stargate. And again, you might even want to consider doing some level 2s. But also, today I ended up lucking out and getting a Star Seed, so hey, free gold nucleus for me. But if you don't have any level 3s or level 2s, then you can always do Dimensional Trials. And if you need money, you can always do Space-Time Domains. But it may not be bad to go ahead and get those Omnium Beacons for when we need to try to get to level 80. Next, we have our optionals, where you can give gifts to your 1.0 characters, and how you do that is by going to the black market, Cetus Island, and doing the claw machine, and knocking out your 2 trainings for the day. But what is not optional is you want to do your fun zones, and you want to try to knock out your 6 Greyspace Fishers. And if you need help on how to do either of those, I have a guide on my channel. Then we have our events. Again, you have Mirroria Tour. It's going away in 5 days, so make sure you clear out the store. You also want to make sure you log in so that way you can get the supply run. Then we have the ultimate weapon. So of course you want to make sure you're knocking out your intel gathering so that way you can get enough pictures so you can buy out the shop. But for today we have Uprooting Remnants. And again, I still recommend that if you are going to do these, I think Infiltration is the best one. And I have a guide on my channel showing how I did it to get the max points. But Sad Gallington did propose a better way to do this, and he said using the Nemesis trait, because once you use an electrode, it just kills all the enemies all at once. So I decided to go ahead and awaken her, and I got her at least 1200 points because I'm going to awaken all of my 1.0 characters anyway, allowing me to kill all the enemies within 30 meters once I summon an electrode. So here were my results. So I started out by shooting towards the right, and it pretty much killed all the enemies within 30 meters. So most of them are already taken out already. But after that, I had to wait for the cooldown to get off. Once it did, I summoned another electrode, and it pretty much knocked out all the other enemies. But the problem that I saw doing this method is that since it kills them so fast and it's all instantly, it doesn't always track right on the counter. Like there was one time that I was able to get 14, and this time I only got 13. And still, you have to wait until the countdown ends. So personally, I think it's just better to just go ahead and just use a bow and arrow and kill them all one at a time, so that way you can get the max points. But if you don't feel like doing that, you got Nemesis and you have the trait, you can do this method too. But also, if you guys find any other ways to clear these challenges, let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoy these daily guides, I would greatly appreciate a like so that way they can spread on YouTube. Then we have our weekly tab. You want to make sure you're doing enough things down here so we can get everything up top, which brings us to our challenges. Now if you're trying to do something like the Bygone Phantasm or Frontier Clash, you might want to save your Mia's Kitchen so that way you can power yourself up. So starting with the Bygone Phantasm. Now again, I recommend that you look at the weapon bonus, and if you have a good weapon bonus, you try to do the sneak to next level. That way you can jump up 11 levels, and if you're able to beat that level, you can get to a higher floor. But after that, I recommend that you do the Sequential Phantasm, but you might want to wait till Saturday because that one should be the level increase day, and go ahead and try to knock these out to get a very high score. Frontier Clash. Now if you mainly have a Volt team like me, you might want to try to get with some friends that have that fire or ice, and hopefully they can carry you and get all those boxes. Or you can just wait till next week to hopefully where it's not Vault. Void Risk. We got another attempt today, so you want to make sure you go ahead and do that so that way you can get that matrixy. And if this is a first time boss for you, you definitely want to do it. Wormhole. We have 4 days left to complete this, and you want to make sure you do so that way you can get that energy crystal dust. Raid. You want to make sure you knock out the heroic mode of the first one and the heroic mode of the second one, and also also do the battle test area before the weekends. And Apex League. If you're trying to reach Grand Marshal, you might want to put a couple hours in each day. Then we have our daily buys, so you want to go to shop, hot, and buy your 2 vitality solutions. Now this is only if you can afford it, which brings us to the Commissary, starting with the Crystal Dust Door. You want to make sure you buy your advancement modules, your booster modules, and your Vera special gift. Then I recommend that you try to get the potent omnium crystal. But if you're a free-to-play / low spender, you could consider passing, but you might want to try to at least get enough so that way you can get an 8.3 suppressor. But besides that, what you can use for your golden crystal dust is buy a good pair of boots. If you have a good pair of boots, then you can get hand guards. And if you have a good pair of hand guards, then you can buy whatever else you want. Space-time store, essentially you're just using all your fragments to buy combat engines. Cruise store, the only thing that you want to spend your points on are relics, and the relics that I recommend are Space-time Rift, unless you have a level 3 or Omnium Shield. And how you get crew points is by doing your daily donations and knocking out your 4 missions for the week. Support store, you want to make sure you go ahead and buy your 3 joint supply chips for the week, and if you can, try to get the proof of purchase and the gold nucleus. If you need help on how to get return support points, make sure you check out the guide on my channel. Point store, now the only thing I recommend that you spend your points on are special gifts, so that way you don't have to do trainings, black market, or Cetus Island again. But besides that, I just recommend exploring Vera, so that way you have all the resources you can, so that way you can get some extra rolls and possibly get Saki if that's what you're going for, or at least be ready for Lin. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If so, check out my Should You Pull Saki video, but other than that, talk to you guys later.